Alright everyone, you know the drill by now. Odyssey Part 2, Monkey Knowledge turned off. Let's just get straight into it. Alright, we're on to Carved. This is the Happy Thanksgiving Odyssey. If you missed Part 1, came out yesterday, should be easy enough to find on my channel. And this is going to be Part 2. Alright. So, as always, we want to place Oben somewhere he can reach a lot of the map. And then just let him handle it. Oh. Alright, so how are you guys finding the Odyssey? It shouldn't be too bad compared to other Odysseys where we've had more restrictions and what's the other word? Where we've had more restrictions and it's been a tougher challenge, so to speak. So like, when the mobs and the ceramics had more health and were sped up, I feel like that was a lot harder than this, just because the only issue with this is the fact that you can't sell on some of the maps. Not even all of them, so I think we'll do quite well here. Shouldn't be too difficult. I think I'll place our crossbow master here. Just because we do need some early camo detection. Like, we could just use the brambles that Oben puts down, but there's a chance that if he puts them in the wrong place, it'll be taken up by non-camo balloons, and we don't really want to take that risk. Plus, they only last for 3 rounds, so they'll be disappearing anyway. Okay, so we're going to get our crossbow. Not the crossbow master just yet, but we will be getting our crossbow soon just to handle the first few waves of camo balloons. And then after that, we should be good with pretty much everything we've got. Lead's covered, and then camo's covered. Camo leads don't come for quite some time, so I think we'll be alright just like this for now. And then with camo leads we'll just set up our village. But yeah, at the moment we seem quite fine, quite capable. I think we want to put a... Ooh, here? Or, yeah, maybe here. Maybe around here I want to put a attack zone. We'll do it right here. I was going to move it further downwards, but then I kind of want it to be able to reach up the top before we turn it into attack zone as well, rather than it only being useful when we've turned it into attack zone. That did take up quite a lot of space though, so might not have been the best positioning on my part, to be honest. That's a good point actually. I want to put a village in there somewhere. How am I going to do that? Sorry if I'm making bad decisions. I've literally just woken up. I haven't had my breakfast for the day. I usually go for cereal. I don't know about you guys, if you're more of a eggs on toast or something like that kind of person, but yeah, usually I wake up to cereal, and then eggs on toast and all that is quite lovely. I rarely do have that when I wake up, just because I'm a little bit more lazy when I wake up, so I don't feel like preparing anything. But yeah, haven't eaten yet. Will do after this recording, because it shouldn't be too difficult to get through these levels, especially the ones that we can sell on. Maybe not this one, because nothing, but the ones we can actually sell on is going to be amazingly easy. Alright, so Oben's pretty terrible against purples, but luckily our attack shooter is not. Throw down more brambles. And wow, the rounds are actually flying past. I don't know what this does, if anything. I think it's just a cool little map gimmick, but you can just click on this cauldron and then it lights up. But I don't think it's anything amazing. Okay, we've just about got overdrive. Oben's got the leads covered. Nice and easily done. Okay, and then we get our overdrive. That's going to be our main hopping power for quite some time, actually. Okay, more leads, not a problem. Sorted. Okay, now I think we might... Oh no, we shouldn't go for a village. We should go for our first recursive cluster. And we need to shove him close to the tack zone just because We don't want to take up too much more of potential village space. Because we do need to fit the village in there somewhere. I just don't know where just yet. Okay, so this is the Dart Monkey's job. He might miss a couple yellows. Oh no, he's got it covered. Oh. Yeah, he's got it. Okay, get ourselves the cluster bombs. This is actually a really good spot for the cannon because if he misses in this little area here, it can like hit the back area and explode over there instead of just missing completely, which is very nice. There we go. Now all we need is recursive cluster. And then we will be good to go, set up to win, hopefully. Okay. Our bomb tower's doing pretty nicely here. Would be nice to get the recursive cluster soon. As in before round 40. Yeah, we should do. Yeah, there's way too many balloons for us not to get it. There we go. Now we'll set up for our village, because I think now's a good time. We haven't got the tax zone, but we're not expected to have gotten it by now. Okay, so here is our village. Can we fit it in around here? Oh, we can, and that's actually perfect because we can just enhance the radius. There we go. Regrow blocker to stop regrowing balloons from being a pest. Alright, how do we deal against a Moab? Oh, we're fine. There we go. Alright. So as usual, once we defeat the first Moab, we know that we're good. It's a bit skeptical until then, but now our defense is amazing because all of these guys can now see camo alongside the Dart Monkey, which means camo balloons are no longer a threat. And then once we get the MIB, we can get our second recursive cluster and black balloons will no longer be a threat. Okay, this is actually going quite well for us. I do want to get maybe a second recursive cluster up soon. Sooner rather than later, because technically our defense hasn't changed all that much, except it's maybe they attack a little faster. So I might get a second recursive cluster up sooner than I get the MIB. It does mean we can't pop black balloons very well with our bomb towers, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue, because Oben can, as of now, pop anything that's not a purple balloon. Which is pretty damn good, because everybody else can pop purple balloons nicely. Okay. Fortified ceramics. Not doing too bad against them. Throw down some more brambles. Get that second recursive cluster. Okay, now we just need to get the MIB. And we're set. I think this is the strategy I've used in pretty much every single one of these games. Which shows just how consistently good it is. Oben can handle most of the first part of the map, and then you throw down a Dart Monkey for your camo defense, you throw down Tack Shooter for your damage, and then you start working on your recursive clusters. It's beautiful. And then if you ever do get into a situation where that's not working out very well, you throw down a Spike Factory at the very end of the map, and hopefully that'll fix things up a bit. Because I don't know how we're going to go on Cornfield. I think Captain 12 did mention something about Cornfield being a bit of a pain, so I can imagine because we have to buy all the patches of land, it will be quite difficult. But luckily I think on that map we can sell. I'm pretty sure we can, so we shouldn't be too terribly off. Okay, I think, just in case, I don't expect this to be necessary, but just in case, I'm going to get a 220 Spike Factory at the top there. And now we're going to be saving up for the tax zone, so I'll see you guys when that's ready. Okay, and here's our money for the tax zone. Perfect. Now, I think we should last for quite some time from here until around 70 plus. But just before we go for, say, something like the Crossbow Master, because I think, because of the last map we did, I think we can afford that in time. We're going to get the Sharpshooter upgrade just quickly, and then maybe even some spiked balls just to be on the safe side. Like, I'm not worried, it pays to be extra cautious just in case. So I'm going to get the spiked balls, and then immediately after that we're going to be saving up for our good old Crossbow Master. Although we won't be needing him for too many rounds, it'll just be nice to have. Okay, let's see if we can put these further down. Never mind. I was just seeing if we could put them on the bottom track here. I did manage to get lucky a couple times and put them on the bottom track for extra cash, but no luck here. Everything dies before it even reaches this point. I mean, that's a good sign, don't get me wrong. But I want that extra cash for when the trees explode. Okay, so now let's get ourselves the spiked balls. Should be rather soon. There it is. Alright, now we're going to be saving up the Crossbow Master and not going to be doing anything in between except for just using my abilities. So, see you guys when we can afford it. Okay, and there's our Crossbow Master. A little bit late, but just like the last map, it could be quite nice for the very last level. So let's see how it does against the ZOMG. I have high hopes. I kind of forgot the ZOMG was this slow. Oh, even the spiked mines actually did some damage to it there. Beautiful. It's so big it takes up 2 parts of the track. Alright, but I'm pretty sure we're finished with this map. Oben dishing out the early damage, then the Crossbow Master, then the tax zone, and then it's all over from here. Alrighty. Next map. What's it called? Stumped? Or Tree Stump? Or something like that? I think so. What is it called? Can I check before we... Nah, okay. What is it? Come on. Tree Stump. I thought so. Something like that. Alright, so where do we set up on this map? Could set up Oben around here, because I don't think Oben really cares about barriers, does he? Doesn't look like it. His radius isn't being cut off. Yeah, no, Oben doesn't care about barriers, because that would usually get in the way. Like so. See, so if we put a cannon here, it'd be utterly useless on both sides, but if we put Oben here, he can still see on both sides, so he doesn't care about obstacles being in his way. And so, I think we want to put Oben something like here. It's not the greatest position in the world, but it's a fairly good one. Plus his attacks do loop around, so it shouldn't be too terrible of a position for us. Okay, and then we get our classic Dart Monkey up next. I think we'll put him maybe... Ooh, that's actually difficult. He does get a range buff, so I won't worry too much about him hitting that little area there at the top. There you go, there's his range buff. But yeah, we'll get him to very quick shots and then a crossbow as soon as possible. And then it's pretty much the same strategy, if I'm honest. We get our tack shooter, put him in a good spot, maybe down here actually. And then we get our recursive clusters up, pop down a village to enlighten all of our towers, get that MIB, and then try and get tack zone and crossbow master, especially on this map because we're going to 90. And if you did not know, we've got DDTs coming for 90. So there's our crossbow. Should hold back quite a decent chunk of the balloons for a while. Crossbow, Dart Monkey can see all the way down here, which is really good. He can't see down here, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's alright. And then he can see all of this area too, which isn't the greatest, but like, the reason it's not the greatest is because if he shoots at it and then misses, that's kind of like a high chance, or a high likelihood of it happening, just because he's not aiming straight down a path like this way. But not too big of a deal. Let's get our tack shooter up. Maybe we should... No, I think we should group everything up, to be honest. We should try and keep everything relatively close by, just so that the future village is much more effective. And because if we have a tack shooter down here, or a, tack shooter, then basically everything's going to be damaged up here, then there's going to be a long break, and then it'll be damaged again. And what benefits from a long break but regrow balloons? And we do not want to lose to those, so we're going to try and destroy everything as early on as possible, if we can. That's the entire strategy behind going for the tack shooter up here. And then Oben's got leads covered for around 28 and 30. This guy's got camos covered, or at least the first few camos. We can handle the rest later with our village. But just for now, this is going to be most of our Moab popping power, alongside our future cannon. The only reason we have the Dart Monkey up at all, at the beginning, is just for early camo detection. If Oben could see camos, I would never place that Dart Monkey. Oh, depends when camo purples come. I haven't memorized that, but obviously they're not too much of a threat. But yeah, this round in particular is the only reason we've got the Dart Monkey up right now. If we could get the village up in time before then, or some other form of stable camo detection, then we wouldn't be using the Dart Monkey. Okay, but we're getting close to 40, which usually isn't too much of a problem for us, but always better to be safe than sorry. I think our cannon's in a prime position here to do a lot of damage to the Moab. You can see quite a bit down here actually, which is very nice. I'm gonna go for a recursive cluster first, just in case we can't get the other two upgrades in time. We should be able to. We've gotten it every other time, so I don't see why not. Yeah, there we go. We've got it. Okay, those balloons took their time. Don't know what that was about. Alright. So now we will go for our village, because usually... Actually, you know what? We'll wait on the village. Just for now, we'll wait on the village. Just because I'm not sure how great we'll do against a Moab on this map. And if we don't do so great, I want to have a bit more cash on me to fix the mistake, rather than not. Okay, yeah, no, we got it covered. We got it covered. And waiting to place down the village doesn't actually, doesn't hinder us in any way, shape or form, because it was just a Moab. If we check to see if we beat it, we're fine. It's not like this is a hero that we've placed that levels up on its own. It didn't need to be there for the Moab. So there you go. We've basically just caught up to where we should have been. Alright. And then from here on, we need our second recursive cluster, I believe. Yes, so we'll put him relatively close by. Put him on close, just like this one. Then once we get this, you know what time it is. We're getting that tack zone. Right, around 45 to aim for the tack zone. It's pretty good, especially when we're going for 90. We're halfway through and we're getting our first 5th tier very quickly. So there's our last recursive cluster. Oh, actually, we should get the MIB first. That's my bad. Because if we don't go for the... Oh no. We don't need the MIB just yet. But we'll still go for it. just because we've found a pattern that works, and I don't want to change that just in case something catches me by surprise. Because don't get me wrong, if we don't get the MIB, it's not the end of the world, but we do want these guys to pop black and zebra balloons, because if they cannot, then it will ruin the strategy at least a little bit. Okay, so just about there. There we go. MIB, so everything here can pop everything, or every type of balloon. So now we will go for our attack zone. 40 rounds to get it. I think we'll do just fine. So I'll see you guys when we do. Alright, and here is our attack zone. Beautiful. Look at it just shred these guys. I love watching the damage numbers just pile up after you turn a 4th tier into a 5th tier tower. It's so good. Alright, so you know what? We're just gonna leave it at getting the sharpshooter this time. We're not gonna worry too much about getting a spike factory, just so that we can get our crossbow master a little earlier for round 90, because that is gonna be a scary one. Alright, see you guys when we get there though. Alright, and here is our crossbow master. Now, I'm not quite sure if this is enough to defeat DDTs, if I'm honest. So, since the DDTs only show up on this map, I'm going to... Oh, actually, we've got Oben on our team, which means DDTs are not a threat at all. But, just for fun then, we'll place some spike factories at the back here. Because honestly, we're pretty much set up to beat 80, we know that, because we've done it on every other map with this setup. So that shouldn't be a problem. And the DDTs aren't a problem because we have Oben on our team. And if you don't know why that is, stick around and you'll see very soon. Let's just say Oben's second ability is amazingly OP, because it can absorb exactly 3 DDTs very easily. Okay, so we may as well splash a bit of cash everywhere else as well. We'll get a nice little attack shooter down here, get some hot shots, ring of fire. Who doesn't love the ring of fire? And then some dope range. And then, I don't know, place some ice monkeys before it to throw off the balloons. They think they're getting frozen to death, and then all of a sudden, boom, ring of fire. They won't see it coming. Alright, so that's every single tower we've got. We really can't do much else up until wave 90, but I think we've got wave 90 covered fairly well here. So, we know we can handle a ZOMG, that's perfectly fine. Look at it get absolutely destroyed. It's beautiful. Throw down another wall of trees, just for some potential extra cash. Let's go for Arctic Wind, just to make these guys even slower. If the balloons get here. I was gonna say when. They will not. If we're lucky. Alright, so what's that? 4 ZOMGs? Nothing we can't handle. Easily said and done. So, we're not going to use our second hero power again until wave 90, because we want to save it up, just so I can show you guys how easy wave 90 is if you have Oben on your team and he can see camos. Because although the wall of trees doesn't need to see camos, it is nice for Oben to be able to join in the fight either way. So once this wave is done for, wave 90, use the wall of trees, and gone. So if you didn't know that, now you do. It's incredibly easy if you're going only up to 90, because Oben can just straight up eat those 3 DDTs and you'll be perfectly fine. Alright, Cornfield. Luckily we're only going to 70 here, so we don't actually need to set up all that much. But we would like a decent area for our combo to occur, because we always set up the same sort of combo here. And so having it set up in a nice central location would be good. So we'll set Oben down here. Not the greatest position in the world, but I think he can see enough of this part of the track for it to help out. Okay, so we do need to manage our money a bit more here. But I think we'll be fine, because there are some cheating sort of spots like this, where you can put your towers. Obviously, it's not the greatest view in the world, but there are certain locations on the map, like this one, where you can sneak in a little tower that has quite a good view, so to speak. You can't fit in many big towers, so like something like the mage probably wouldn't fit, or the alchemist might not fit too easily, but you can fit some sneaky small towers in here, definitely. We put him on last, and he's constantly wiping out this row fairly well. He might miss like a single red balloon or something like that, but does not matter. And we can sell on this map, so it's pretty much a guaranteed win. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'll see if I can demonstrate in a bit, but in all honesty, if you don't have to sell, don't, because selling wastes quite a big chunk of your money. Okay, so what comes after getting the crossbow? What do we usually do after that? We go for the tack shooter, right? Yeah. So I think we'll get the tack shooter around about here, because we don't need the dart monkey to be in range of the village, just because he already can see camos, and that's all we need him for at this point in time. But we do need the tack shooter to be in range of the village, so we will put him right next to Oben. Okay, let's see how this works. Now, I am a little bit afraid of the Moab on this map, not gonna lie. The first Moab. Just the first one. Every other one after that is perfectly fine, if we can beat the first one. I feel like I say that a lot, but it's so true. If you can beat the first Moab, then you've got 9 waves to prepare for the next 2 Moabs, which in that time you can just save up a buttload of cash and just absolutely destroy the next lot of Moabs. Like, 9 times out of 10, the defense I make might do really well against a Moab, but if it does, it can destroy everything after that until the next couple of Moabs. Like, I never have a problem going between wave 40 and 50. It's just exactly on wave 40 and 50 that I'm a little bit hesitant. Alright, so there's our first camo, gone. Dart Monkey's got the cleanup crew going quite well here. So if you don't know about setting your monkeys on last, you typically want to do it if you want them to aim straight down a single path. And the reason you'd want that is because if they get to here, your Dart Monkey might turn and start shooting the darts off in this direction, which will only just be popping the single balloon that he's actually aiming for, rather than continuously aiming down here and popping multiple balloons each time. And sometimes he can still aim straight down and pop the balloons. Ooh, okay. We did... Wait, what? Why did we not lose lives there? Did Oben just save us? Huh. That was weird. I think Oben did manage to save us. I think he had his slowing totem perfectly aligned up. Or maybe we had a brambles back there. I did not notice, but we did not lose lives. Good for us. Okay, so now we'll get our first recursive cluster up here. We'll see how this goes. The only reason I'm a bit hesitant is because of how short of a distance it is around these guys. Like, don't get me wrong, they can all see on multiple sides of the track, but it's a little bit sketchy. I think our brambles are going to be doing a lot of the work for us, and hopefully they can take out the Moab easily enough. See, the reason I'm skeptical about this is not only because it's a short pathway, but because if we pop the Moab a little bit later, like over here, our main damage is going to be the recursive cluster, And if he can't pop black and zebra balloons, then we might not be so great. We might let quite a few things through, actually. Not on purpose, of course, but yes. So attack shooters got our backs here. We need to get our recursive cluster up. There we go. That's already quite a good amount of damage. And then both of our extra damaging upgrades. I've seen that some people would go for the faster attacking. Oh, right. Yeah, forgot about that. More camo protection is needed. Luckily we had the brambles at the back there. But yeah, I see some people do go for the faster shooting on the bomb shooter, and by all means it's up to you. It's basically just preference at that point because there's such a small difference. But I personally just think it's better to go for more damage in each hit. Okay, let's see how we go. We're taking it slow, or take it slow now, just to see how we do. The brambles will be doing a bit of the damage for us. There we go. Okay, we should be fine. We should be fine. Get that jungle drums to make everybody attack faster. And honestly, the amount of cash you can get between rounds 40 and 50 is actually quite amazing. So then we'll get our camo detection, because we are struggling on that area. There we go. Ooh, just in time too. Okay, so we're cutting this one a bit tight, but we're doing quite well, I believe. Especially once we get our second cannon up. Here we go. There we go. Now I feel a lot safer. Get the second cannon up. Get the second recursive cluster. I was going to say regrow cluster. Send out regrow balloons at them. That would be a really cool upgrade for the necromancer wizard. If you could send like zombified regrow balloons at them. I don't know why I just thought of that, but yeah, it seems pretty cool in my mind. Huh. Alright, so we've got this area fairly well set up. We're going to go for the MIB, and then, to be honest, we don't really have to clear out any of these cornfield areas. If you want to, you can, but really our strategy works just as well on the single patch that we've been given. And a little cheaty spot down here, so don't forget about that. It's always on hand to help us out. But yeah, we really just need the MIB, and then we can pop black balloons with the regrow clusters, or the recursive clusters. And then once that happens, pretty much no regular balloon is going to get through here. It's going to be Moabs that'll get that far. Alright, perfect. Now I believe we're aiming for the attack zone. Ooh, okay, that was a little close, but nothing we can't handle. Oh, and we'll get Oben's level 10 ability real soon, won't we? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we'll be good. Alright, so once we get this level 10 ability, we'll be a lot... Well, I'll feel a lot safer, but... I think... Now, I haven't done this on purpose, but I think I'm going to try and complete this map just using that center tile, and not any of the others. Don't get me wrong, using all the other tiles, that's perfect. Using all the other tiles would help out quite a lot, but just to have an added bit of challenge, I'm going to try and not use them. Can we place a spike factory in any of these little cheaty spots? Oh, come on. I'm sure we can. Somewhere. Can we place them up here? Placing them anywhere is good. Okay, I think he's too big. He's too big, but these guys might not be. Ice monkey? No? Oh, there we go. We can place an ice monkey there. But I think we'd rather... No, an ice monkey would actually be really good there. Any sort of balloon that tries to sneak through will just get frozen. actually be really good. And why not? We'll get the snowstorm ability. Screw it. We've got some extra cash. Because we don't have to go to 80. So we can splash a little more than we usually do. Alright, so now I think we'll be saving up for our attack zone, so I'll see you guys when we can afford it. And then we should be good. Okay, as usual, we get our 5th tier tower. Better late than never, I suppose, but we're only 1 round off of winning. And there it is. Okay, so I must admit, having this wall of trees at the very back here is very good security. And if you can get it right back here, you can easily do this with just the 1 tile. But in all honesty, it might be quite difficult to do so with just the 1 tile, so don't feel like you have to do just the 1 tile. It most certainly does hinder you rather than help, especially with line of sight. But okay, we did manage to get through this Odyssey quite well. We've pretty much used the same strategy every single time. We've used 5 Obens, well, 1 for each map, 1 for each map, 2 for each map, roughly 1 for each map, sometimes 2 if we're just messing around. We hardly ever used you, I'm not gonna lie, like, we just threw you down for fun at the end. 1 for each map. Really? 5? Huh. I don't recall using 1 for each map, but maybe I did. Alright, and that is the end. Ooh, that's a nice Insta-monkey. And that is the end of the Happy Thanksgiving Odyssey. You guys still have 4 days left to complete it, roughly. And I hope you guys get through it with minimal difficulty. Oh, I didn't accept my daily. Huh. Alright, 90 monkey money for me. That's very nice. Alright, so I beat it without monkey knowledge as well. So hopefully you guys can follow that strategy along fairly easily. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.